dy over dx find करना है, so looks like we have to use chain rule here. dy over dx would be dy over something, and that something over dx, and that something is going to be dt. So let's find dx over dt and dy over dt. So x is a cos cube t को मैं लिख रही हूँ cos t whole cube. So take dx over dt. A is a constant, so still a. 3 comes down, so 3a cos square t times the derivative of cos t again. So the derivative of cos t is minus sine t. So dx over dt comes out to be minus 3a sine t cos square t. Any questions still here? Yeah, how did I derivate that?
No, ma'am.
Next, we derivate y. So y equals a and brackets sine t whole cube. So this will be derivated with respect to t. A is a constant, so it's still a. 3 comes down, 3a. Power gets reduced by 1. So it's going to be sine square t. And then you have to derivate sine t again, which is cos t. So we're getting dy over dt equals 3a cos t sine square t. Yeah. Now let's apply the chain rule. So dy over dx equals dy over dt is 3a cos t sine square t times dt over dx. We'll have to take the reciprocal of this because that's dx over dt. Take reciprocal of this. So times 1 upon minus 3a sine t cos square t. Okay. So 3 and 3 cancels. A and A cancels. We have cos t. In fact, cos t and cos square t cancels. This cancels the square out. This cancels the square out. So we have minus sine t over cos t, which means we have minus tan t as dy over dx. So it's dy over dx, not dy over dt. It's x. Let me check. Yes, it is minus tan t. Okay, that's the correct answer for part 1. Part 2. Let me just clear this. Sorry. Show that the equation of tangent to the curve to the point equation of tangent to the curve at the point with perimeter t is this. All right. So now you have to find the equation of tangent to the curve. So equation of tangent is y equals mx plus c. So y equals m came out to be minus tan t x plus c. Now you have to show that this simplifies to this. Okay. So generally when we're finding equation of tangent, we need a point and we substitute that value with that point in the given equation, x comma y, and we get a c. So that is what we're going to do here. We don't exactly know what is x and y, but we have the expression for that. We know x is a cos cube t, comma y is a sine cube t. Let me just quickly reread the question. Show that the equation of the tangent to the curve at the point with perimeter t is this. Yes, so this is the point we're going to use. Okay, so अब c निकालना है. Let's replace y with a sine qt equals, instead of minus tan t, I'm going to write sine and cos. I'm going to write minus sine t upon cos t, because this required equation above does not have any tan in it. So rewrite tan as sine over cos. Okay, instead of x, I'm writing a cos qt and then plus c. Okay, so we have to find c from here. Let's take LCM and cross multiply and everything. So taking LCM, instead of taking LCM, in fact, I'm going to cancel this and the cube. So it's going to be square. So I'm getting a sine qt equals minus a sine t cos square t plus c. I'm taking everything towards the left hand side except for c. So plus a sine t cos square t equals to c. Okay, I'm going to take a and sine t common. A is common, sine t is common. Inside we get sine square t plus cos square t, which is 1. This is actually 1. Sine square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So this becomes 1. So then c is a sine t. So I'm going to rewrite the equation as a sine cube t is equals to minus, in fact, let me just use this instead. मैंने गलती नोट की है कि I did not write an A here. यहाँ पे A था. I think वो अभी मैंने गलती से clear कर दिया. It must have been there to begin with. All right. So A sine cube t equals minus A sine t cos square t plus A sine t. Okay. We can take sine t common and cancel it on both sides, but still I'm not getting that required format. ओके सॉरी, y is equals to mx plus c में सब्स्टिट्यूट करना था, मैंने गलत जगह सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दिया. वेरी सॉरी. I have to substitute c in y is equals to mx plus c, which is here. इसमें सब्स्टिट्यूट करना था ना. So y equals minus tan t x plus a sine t. So the required format does not have tan again, so we have to rewrite this as sine over cos. So y equals minus sine t upon cos t x plus a sine t. Take LCM, so we get cos t y equals minus sine t x plus a sine t. A sine t cos t. Okay, is this the format required? Let me check. zoom out हो गया, x sin t आ गया, ठीक है, plus y cos t भी आ गया, equals to a sin t cos t. Yes. So just move x and y terms to the same side. So it's going to be sin tx plus cos ty equals a sin t cos t. So shown. So we just used y is equals to mx plus c, but with a lot of trigonometry in it. So this is coordinate geometry plus trigonometry. Can I clear this for the next part?
Yes, ma'am.
अदन आपने होमवर्क किया था?
नहीं मैम, टाइम मिला.
Part 2 is done. Part 3 is, hence show that if this tangent meets the x-axis at x and the y-axis at y, then the length of xy is going to be equals to a. All right. So what do we know when a line crosses x-axis? When a line crosses the x-axis, what do we know about this?
Y is 0.
Y is equal to x. So the coordinate is going to be some value of x, comma 0. So at the x-axis, the point is x, comma 0. And at the y-axis, when the line crosses the y-axis, here x is 0. So it's going to be some 0, comma some value of y. So the coordinate on the y-axis is 0, comma 1. We're going to find both these coordinates by substituting y0 and x0 next in the given equation of the line. So this is the equation of the tangent. इसका पहले y0 कर लेते हैं. So when y is 0, we get x sine t equals a sine t cos t, which is x equals a cos t. So that point is going to be a cos t, comma 0 on the x-axis. Similarly, on the y-axis, you're going to say that x is going to be 0. So the equation is going to be 0 times sine t, which is 0. Then y cos t equals a sine t cos t. Cos t cancels. Y equals a sine t. So the other coordinate is going to be 0, comma a sine t, where the curve crosses where the tangent, the straight line crosses the y-axis. Okay. Now you have to show that the length of x, comma y, this point can be called x, where it crosses through the x-axis. This point can be called y, where it crosses the y-axis. You have to show that the length is always equals to a. Length कैसे निकालते हैं? From the distance formula from O level, square root y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Square root y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. So square root a sine t minus 0 whole square plus 0 minus a cos t whole square. 0 to ignore ho jayega, subtract ho ya add ho, it doesn't make any difference. So it's square root a square sine square t plus, when you square a negative value, negative a sine t, it becomes a positive value. So a plus a square cos square t. Take a square common. So you get the identity cos sine square t plus cos square t, which is 1. So then the distance is square root a square, which is just a. Question 9. Can I copy the next question?
Yes, ma'am.
The equation of a curve is x ln y equals 2x plus 1. Show that dy over dx is equals to this. All right. So we have to derivate that. Let's start x ln y equals 2x plus 1. So we have to derivate this with respect to y. So either you may make ln y the subject. Either ln y kar lete hain, equals 2x plus 1 upon x. Now we derivate both sides. So we're derivating both sides with respect to x. Derivate with respect to x because we need dx in the denominator. So ln fx की derivation क्या होती थी? It's 1 upon fx times f prime x, the derivative of x. It's going to be 1 by y times the derivative of y again, and we're derivating it with respect to x. It's going to be dy over dx equals, now we're derivating 2x plus 1 upon x, which is a fraction. So we know how to derivate a fraction if it's fx in the numerator and gx in the denominator, and we're derivating it, then it's f prime x times gx minus fx times g prime x upon gx whole square. Okay, so let's use that. So derivate 2x plus 1, which is just going to give us 2. The denominator just multiplies with the result. Minus sign in between. The numerator stays the same. The derivative of the denominator x is going to be 1 upon square of the denominator x square. So we've applied the quotient rule of differentiation. So we're getting 1 by y dy over dx equals 2, and that's just minus 2x and then minus 1 upon x squared. So that's 1 upon y dy over dx equals 1 minus 2x upon x squared. Dy over dx will be equals to y times sorry, I spotted a mistake. That's going to be 2x as well. And this cancels, so we just have minus 1 in it. So then y goes to the other side, becomes minus y, and we have x squared in the denominator. So I believe that is what was to be shown, minus y over x squared. So we've used a lot of rules of differentiation, lots of cases of differentiation all together in this question. That's why it's very important that you understand each and every rule very well. और अगर भूला हुआ है तो I advise के revisit the notes you've made during my lessons. Case 1 क्या था, case 2 क्या था, case 3 क्या था, और उन सारे cases को दोबारा से example solve करो. Otherwise, अगर वो भूला हुआ है and you look at this question, you won't be able to do it unless you're very clear about all the cases. Product rule क्या था, quotient rule क्या था, ln x की derivation कैसे होती है, e power x की derivation कैसे होती है, trigonometric function की derivation कैसे होती है. You must know all of that. Okay, part 2. I'm going to clear this. Find the equation of the tangent to the curve at the point where y is equals to 1. Give your answer in the form of ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Equation of tangent is a straight line. Tangent is a straight line.
मैम ये फर्स्ट पार्ट पहले करना है.
कर लिया इसका अभी. सेम क्वेश्चन है ना, अभी किया था ना माइनस वाई ओवर एक्स स्क्वायर, उसी का पार्ट 2 है. इट्स नॉट अ न्यू क्वेश्चन. ओके, so find the equation of tangent to the curve, which is y equals mx plus c. M is what, dy over dx, which we've already found. But अब इसमें वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करनी है, माइनस वाई अपॉन एक्स स्क्वायर. ओके, अब इसमें y क्या सब्स्टिट्यूट करें और x क्या सब्स्टिट्यूट करें. Y is already given in the question 1. So in place of y, you write 1. But what do we write in place of x? How do we get the x? By substituting this in the original equation and get x. So when y is equals to 1, what's x? It's going to be x ln 1 equals 2x plus 1. So if you remember from log of 1 or ln 1 is 0. So we get 0 equals 2x plus 1. So x equals minus half. So the point is minus half comma 1. That's going to help you find the slope as well as the c later on. So x is minus half squared. So m is going to be what, minus 4. Let me confirm. Yeah. Gradient is minus 4. So y equals minus 4x plus c. Now to find c, you use the point minus half comma 1. So 1 equals minus 4 times minus half plus c, which is 2. 1 minus 2 is minus 1. That is the correct answer. However, I will lose marks for leaving the answer like that. क्योंकि क्वेश्चन में स्पेशल रिक्वायरमेंट है किस फॉर्म में आंसर होना चाहिए ax plus by plus c. So rearrange. This is not the final answer. Should be 4x plus y plus 1 is equals to 0. This will get you full mark. Take a look at the next question. Question 10. The parametric equation of a curve r x is equals to this and y equals to this. Find dy over dx. Okay. T again, x है question में, y है question में, तो chain rule use है. Part 1. Apply chain rule. Dy over dx would be equals to dy by dt times dt by dx. So derivate both of the given equations. X equals ln tan t. अब इसको डेरिवेट करना है with respect to t. So पहला तो हमारे पास जो रूल है that is ln fx की डेरिवेशन हो रही है. And the derivation of that is 1 upon fx times f prime x. And later, you'll also have to derivate this function, tan t. So what's the derivative of tan x? It's secant square x. तो पहले सारे cases पता होने चाहिए so that you can actually start with this question. Begin the question, in fact. So dx upon dt would be derivative of ln is 1 upon fx, so 1 upon tan t, times the derivative of fx, which is sine secant squared. Okay. Similarly, now we derivate y equals sine square t. So the first rule applicable is the power rule, which is if y equals fx whole power n, then dy over dx is n fx n power minus 1 times f prime x. And the second rule applicable here is that you'll have to derivate fx, which is sine x in this case. So derivative of sine x is cos x. So ये भी पता होना चाहिए. So dy over dt is going to be power rule first. 2 comes down. The power gets reduced by 1. So it's just sine t power 1 times derivative of sine t, which is cos t. So dy over dt is coming out to be 2 sine t cos t. And now let's apply the chain rule. I'm clearing the right hand side. So dy over dx is going to be dy over dt, which is 2 sine t cos t, and then dt over dx. Sorry, this is dt. So reciprocal of that. So that's going to be tan t upon secant square t. So how do we further simplify this? Express dy over dx in terms of t. So further simplify करते हैं. Let's see if that's possible. tan को लिख देते हैं as sin over cos. Let me just confirm यहाँ तक ठीक है या नहीं.
हम सेकंड को ऊपर बेच कर cos square t कर लेते हैं.
कर लेते हैं, बिल्कुल कर लेते हैं. Yes, it's correct so far. So secant can go to the numerator, becomes cos square, and tan can be written as sin over cos. So 2 sin t cos t, and then instead of tan, I'm going to write sin by cos. Sin t by cos t, and secant square t goes up, becomes cos square t. Times cos square t. Cos in the denominator gets cancelled. So we have 2 sin square t and cos square t. That's dy over dx. Okay, let me check the answer. That is correct. 2 sin square t cos square t. All right. Part 2. Find the equation of the tangent of the curve. Find the equation of tangent to the curve at the point where x is equals to 0. So equation of tangent is y is equals to mx plus c, and we need a point on the curve so that we can find m as well as c. So y equals mx plus c से start करते हैं. Let's talk about m first. So m would be 2 sin square t cos square t. However, we need the value of t that we can substitute here so that we get the actual gradient. T कहाँ से आएगा? We're given x is equals to 0. T तो हमें बताया ही नहीं हुआ. हमें खाली बताया हुआ है कि x is 0. इस x is equals to 0 को आप इधर सब्स्टिट्यूट करके t निकाल लोगे और फिर उस t को इधर सब्स्टिट्यूट करके y निकाल. So x equals log tan t, natural log tan t. Okay, so 0 equals ln tan t. Ln goes to the other side, e power 0 equals tan t. So 1 equals tan t. So tan would be equals to what? When is tan 1? 45 degree पे होता
pi
है.
by 4.
Which is pi by 4. Yes. So take tan inverse t in radians in your calculator, you'll get t equals pi by 4, which is within the given domain 0 to pi by 2. 0 to 90 degree के बीच में ही आता है 45 degree. All right, so we have t, so we should be able to find y as well. यहाँ find कर लेते हैं y. So y would be sine square t. So I'm writing sine pi by 4 whole square, because that's how you enter sine square in the calculator. Sine whole square करना पड़ता है. Okay, so radians bracket sine pi by 4 bracket close whole square, that gives half. Okay, so let's find m. M के लिए तो खाली t चाहिए. So the point is 0, half, जिससे हमारा c निकल आएगा. वो वैसे ही half है, इधर से ही नजर आ रहा है. Y intercept is half. So m would be 2 times sine square, so write whole square, sine pi by 4 whole square times cos pi by 4 whole square. ये बताना क्या आता है, टाइम्स 2। टू टाइम्स ब्रैकेट साइन,
It's half as well.
सॉरी हाफ,
Yes, 1/2.
ठीक है, yes, it is 1/2. So y equals mx plus c, and the point on this line is 0, half. So c is directly going to be half. यहाँ से हमें नजर आ रहा है कि जो line है वो half से pass कर रही है, so that's directly your c. या y को पहले 0 बना दो, x को 0 कर दो, y को half कर दो, still you're getting half is equals to c. So the equation of the tangent is y equals half x plus half. इधर मैं लेसन एंड कर रही हूँ, बट आज का होमवर्क मैं अगले क्वेश्चंस नहीं दे रही। आई स्ट्रॉन्गली एडवाइज कि जितना पिछले लेसन के नोट्स बनाए हैं ना उनको दोबारा देख के आओ, ताकि कल से जो क्वेश्चंस करें ना उसमें आपको सारे रूल्स पहले से ही आते हैं जो आपके है। क्योंकि वरना मैं जब कर रही होंगी तो आपको लगेगा अच्छा ये तो बड़ी इट्स मेकिंग सेंस, बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट डूइंग इट ऑन योर ओन यू विल स्ट्रगल। ठीक है, तो आज का होमवर्क है कि सारे रूल्स दोबारा से रिवाइज करके आना, ईच एंड एवरी केस। ठीक है, सी यू गाइस टुमारो इंशाल्लाह। अल्लाह हाफिज।
अपना
Allah Hafiz.